Hi everyone, I'm Rita Lavon and welcome to my channel, at Love Build Share. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in, and if you are not already a subscriber, I ask that you click on that red box in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And I want to thank you all so much for tuning in with me today. Before I get into the meat and potatoes of the video, let me lean in so y'all can see my curls. It's amazing the difference, like when you zoom in, and I can see the camera trying to focus, but hopefully y'all can see how good my curls look. They're flourishing. But anywho, that's not why we're here today. So today we're here to talk about how your mental health can come into play with the holiday season. I'm kind of going to add it into that. The reason why I'm even doing this video is because I actually shared a video on my Instagram page, which, by the way, please make sure that you are following me on Instagram and Facebook. It's under the same exact name, Rita Lavon, at Love Build Share. So I shared a video on my 24-hour story on Instagram, and I'm just kind of going to sum up what the video was about. I've just kind of written down some notes. The person was speaking of being 40 years old and coming to realize that with his mental health, it was more important to him about how he felt inside versus how much someone said they loved him. Meaning, if you say you love someone and then you do something to hurt that person, and that person lets you know that it's not okay, and then if you continuously do it, it took him 40 years to realize that he wasn't going to do it anymore. And he said the words that I'm not doing it because I don't feel safe. Meaning, if you cannot create a safe place for someone, then don't worry about that person that you're hurting showing up. He said that he loved himself too much to put himself into unhealthy situations with people who could not take accountability, and that he was emotionally retired from that concept. And I completely agree with everything that he was speaking of. And I wanted to take it a step further to speak about that in the sense of the holiday season. Because I know that sometimes during the holiday season, people may feel a particular way because of family or friend gatherings. You're going into spaces with people, or certain people maybe, who may not understand you, who don't get you, who just, no matter how hard both parties try, the energy is just bad. And the energy is bad because you just don't like the person. Some people, use the term, well, can't we all just get along? No, because that's not how life works. There has been, scientific proof, when you think about, different personality types, like an introvert versus an extrovert, there tends to be a lot of clash between those two types because they're completely opposite. And sometimes both parties are not able to come to a mutual respect and kind of like a agree to disagree type of thing. And that's okay. Conflicts and disagreements are going to happen. And the good thing is, as it relates to your personal life, you don't have to show up. Okay? I am not one of those people who believe that the more the merrier. It depends on who it is. All right? I am about good energy and people, coming into a space and a place that is healthy for them, that feels good. And if someone or something where I am at if it does not fit into what works for you, then by all means, do what you have to do. So if that means, not showing, not coming up, not responding to something, whatever you have to do, just do it. Some things don't have to be said. I always think of American Gangster, the movie, when I hear this term. Denzel Washington said it when he said, the loudest person in the room is the weakest person in the room. If you haven't seen the movie American Gangster, it was based off a true story. He was a drug dealer, and it was a really good movie. And I love that line. Sometimes you can just be quiet. Sometimes you can just be quiet. I am not one of those people where I feel like I have to overextend myself. You know whether or not you like somebody or not. You know whether or not, if you get along with them, you know how you feel and the energy. And if the energy is mutual and it's a mutual off energy, meaning you don't like so and so, then why even put yourself in a situation where you have to act a particular way? When I heard that video, I was just like, wow, he said he was emotionally retired. He didn't want to go into spaces with, a person or people who, although they say, I love you, I love you. Well, if you love me, then you'll take better care of me. Take better care of me. And you take better care of me by simply letting it be. You don't always have to say something. A lot of times when it comes to gathering, there's always that person where it's like, oh, there they go again. And sometimes, we don't realize how much what we can do bothers someone. And the good thing about it is, if the person on the opposite end knows that what you do bothers them, that is on them. So they have to take it upon themselves to ask themselves if they are able to deal with it. And if they're not able to, then they don't have to show up. Or they can put themselves in another area, or they can do whatever is best for them. Because we shouldn't have to change ourselves for people, but individually we have to know what ticks us off, and what makes the light switch go on, and what makes the light switch go off. You have to know yourself, and that takes time. And as the person in the video was saying, it took him 40 years to get to that point. It may take you 60 years, or it may take somebody else 19 years. It depends on when that light bulb in your head goes off and you truly understand who you are. And a lot of times that takes, having interactions with different personality types, and just having interactions with people, and you kind of get to learn what works for you and what doesn't. And the great thing about it is, in your personal life, you get to make that decision. That's where we can really take control of these things. And I wanted to remind you all to not let particular titles in your life dictate things in your life. So, people always go by this thing of, oh, well, that's your so-and-so and that's your so-and-so. So, why is it okay that because a person has a particular title, we are just supposed to treat them better than everything else? I personally don't agree with it. In my personal opinion, I feel as though when you become an adult, we all are on the same playing field. From the youngest to the oldest. All right? It shouldn't be based upon, oh, well, that and that. No, We all on the same playing field here. Let's have a mutual respect for each other. And if we're not able to have a mutual respect for each other, let's leave each other alone. Some may call that petty, but I call that the complete opposite of it. I call it doing what's best for you. Because if you know, you know. And when you know, that's when you change. So I just wanted to come on and kind of just relate that to the whole holiday season. So if you are hearing this and you are one of those people who may be about to go somewhere and you know that it is not a safe place for you, I would ask that you think twice. Just think twice. Cut down the layers of why you feel that way, who it is that makes you feel that way. Ask yourself, have you, done different things to try to reach out to that person? And know that in the midst of all that, that if the person isn't ready for it, you may not get the answer that you want. As always, it's always a process. And please take anything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. And there's so many ways that I can take this topic, but I think that I've said enough for now. And while you are here and before you go, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and share with everyone that you know so that I can get this message out in the world. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.